Welcome to Master 40K Theater. We've already had two things go wrong in the first 60 seconds, but we're here. Thank you, everyone, for joining the 0.5 episode. We're not calling this an official episode. This is we'll call it a prequel, a preface, if you will. And we're going to show you guys the tech and introduce you to the characters and do a little bit of fun here. So thanks for joining us. This is for those that don't know, this is a RPG session from the Rogue Trader universe and game. I believe the rule set is older than many of the people that will be watching, Bailey, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah,
it is pretty old.
But the rules are good. And in an RPG, the rules aren't the most important thing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kick it over to Bailey, who's going to tell you guys a bit about what's happening. And then we will introduce the characters, I suspect. But go ahead, Bailey.
Yes. Hi, guys. So my name is Bailey, and I'm going to be the GM for this Rogue Trader session. And so many of you may have played the Rogue Trader game that came out, I think, was it a year ago? I think it was about a year ago. But it was pretty successful, and it was a lot of fun. Though it didn't have a ton of replayability. But that game was based off of basically the game that we're going to be presenting to you, just in a more streamlined version. Rogue Trader itself, along with many other 40K RPGs, was an attempt by Fantasy Flight Games, one of the first attempts to make a kind of RPG in the 40K universe. And needless to say, it is a lethal game. So, which is really fun because it adds a lot of kind of stress to the players to not necessarily goof around as much as maybe you would in other RPGs, and to treat it a little more grim, dark, and serious to a degree. Otherwise, pretty easy to die, just like in the game of 40K and in the lore that we read. So yeah, basically what we're going to be doing is tonight. We're not a full cast tonight. It's me and Nick down here in the bottom, and then Colin as well. And we're going to basically be kind of going through and doing a 0.5 first session. And the point of this session is to introduce you to a couple characters in our Rogue Trader crew, and also lead up to the initial first episode. And yeah, so we'll be able to get started here pretty soon, looks like. And
I believe the technology is set up, and Nick, good news. You have removed your cloak and shown who you truly are, a Farseer.
Incredible.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
It's been updated.
That's exactly right.
Upgrades, people, upgrades.
Yeah.
I would rather be a Farseer than a acolyte, so that makes sense.
Yeah. It's fun. I got to find one of the old source books with custom Farseer rules in it that are official too. It should be a good time.
All right. Right on. Well, we'll go ahead and give you guys a little bit of backstory going into this. So I'm going to set the stage. So now a Rogue Trader house has a patents basically gifted by the High Lords of Terra to do trade in pretty much every region of space in the 40K universe. And in this case, you, Colin and Nick, belong to a Rogue Trader's retinue. And that Rogue Trader is named Corwinius Ravon. And he's pretty old as far as 40K goes. About 300 or 400 years. Has had a lot of rejuvenate treatments, but is still pretty spry, an excellent swordsman. But he's been pretty down on his luck in the last couple years. And the governor of the system that you're in, the Absidan cluster, our Rogue Trader owes him a lot of debts. And basically, all things have come to a head, and the debts are being called in. And our Rogue Trader, Corwinius, knows basically that this is the last chance he has to settle these debts. Otherwise, more or less, him and his crew's lives are forfeit. The problem is that the governor has kind of already started calling in these debts, and there are active bounties on the heads of our Rogue Trader and his crew to basically grab them and take the payment from their flesh, more or less. So not only are they trying in a last-ditch effort to clear their names and their debt, they also potentially have people knocking on their doorsteps trying to get paid by inflicting pain upon them. So double kind of scary for our rogue trader crew. Yeah, so go ahead and let's introduce you to our two members here tonight. So Nick, do you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about your character?
100%. Yeah. So my character is going to be a Path of the Seer Eldari. His name is Altiok, and his basic backstory is that the rogue trader hired him through a favor as a basis. He's indebted to him. The rogue trader helped him acquire like a spirit stone of a family member that was incredibly valuable to him, and is there indebted, and is following the rogue trader on a quest to pay off these debts and help him. And that's the majority of the character concept. It's going to be more of a stoic, slightly more passive, support-focused character. Yeah.
Right
that's
on.
Probably.
And you said his name was Altiok?
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the Leotok, which is, of course, completely different.
Completely different and not inspired from it at all.
And also not at all something that any of us know how to pronounce.
Nope. That's the secret. I could just use the same word and pronounce it different ways.
Exactly right. I will be paying homage to one of my favorite movies. I'm not going to tell you which one. You have to figure that out for yourself. I am going to play a Bulgren bodyguard because I have a tendency in role-playing games to take over. And so we have given me a very stupid character to grunt and smash things, which I'm very excited about. But his name is Dongo. And he does not know the rest of his name, but we'll get into that. So that's, and he has been indebted to the rogue trader for some reason that you don't get to know about right now. So there.
Right on. Perfect. And in our coming sessions, we'll be joined by two others as well. Jeremy Nakano from All Day 40K, and then also a good friend of mine and Nick's Kyle, who'll be coming in, and we'll let them introduce their characters next week when they join in. All right. Awesome. Well, are you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do
Dongo ready.
Dongo ready. All right. Wonderful. All right. So you're on the bridge of your ship, which I'm going to let you guys choose the name of.
This is the bridge of our ship over here.
Yeah, absolutely. The bridge of your ship. And you've been summoned by the rogue trader Corwinius, who looks tired and stressed. And as he comes up to you, as you come up to him, basically, the bodyguards on the bridge step aside, and you come up to him, and he says, basically, we have about 12 hours to leave the system before we're going to get blown out of the skies by the local PDF forces. The governor's given us about 12 hours to leave, but if we're on the planet, we're free game, more or less. But here's the problem. So as you guys follow the rogue trader, he enters his main, kind of battle sanctum. And as you follow him into it, you see a big holo table. And on the holo table, he basically has a very loose plan drawn up of what he's going to do, hopefully to help alleviate this debt. There's a lot of empty boxes, a lot of lines going different places, but he seems to be pretty confident that he can save everyone, which is all of you and his retinue, as well as himself, his ship, his legacy. And basically, he takes you over to the table and he explains that one of the jobs that you guys have recently failed to do was to get a map to the coordinates of a very, very lucrative treasure that would basically allow him to wipe out his debt if you guys were able to grab it and bring it back. And he believes that it would be a large enough gift for the governor to call off his bounty hunters and potentially basically save the rogue trader house. But there is a big issue. The first part about it is he doesn't actually know where this expensive, excessive treasure is, but he knows that there is basically a temple that you can go to. At least that's what he's been told by a guy at the bar that he paid for this information from, because that's always super super good way to get your treasure maps. But
Dongo can't read map.
no, definitely not. And so basically he says, don't worry about it, Dongo. We're gonna use you for what you're best for, which is you're gonna be protecting Altiok here, as you guys are gonna go down to the surface of the main world here, which is Beta 67 of the Absinthe cluster. This is the main governance seat. So this is where the governor is. So you're also kind of going into the hot zone. So you got 12 hours. You need to leave, but you have to go down to the planet and retrieve a holocore from an informant who is currently in hiding because he's also connected to you guys and is probably wanted, dead or alive.
Everyone hide from Dongo.
As they should. As you should. So basically, the governor gives you these orders. He says, or not the governor, the rogue trader gives you these orders, and he says, you got to get down to the planet. You got to get this holocore from this. He gives you the coordinates to a pretty seedy dive bar at one of the lower levels of the hive. And he says, you got to go and you got to grab this holocore so we're able to at least get to the next part of the journey and hopefully clear our names, get rid of our debt. Is that understood?
Yeah, seems understood to me.
Dongo just looks cluelessly at the group.
And he basically says, Dongo, you have to protect Altiok. If he dies, you will never get off the planet.
Eldari fragile.
He was expecting more protection, but that's all I have to do.
Well, having double his toughness is a big responsibility. Okay.
Absolutely. Wonderful. So basically, you guys gather up your items, get all your weapons, get your gear on, and prepare to drop onto the planet. You have the Inquisitor, though much of his wealth has been lost over the years through many failed missions and endeavors, still has one Arvis lander. It's kind of worse for wear, but it still flies, and the servitor that flies it makes sure that you guys, so Dongo doesn't have to drive.
Amazing.
Yes. And so you guys load up onto it, and it takes you down to the planet, and it's going to have to drop you off kind of near the outskirts of the hives, just because their space is being monitored by the governor, and he probably would love to just grab you right as you get off the ramp. So the ship takes off, the servitor pilots you guys down through the atmosphere. It's all smoggy and gross because though this is a seat of power, it's still, because it's on the outer sphere of the Imperium, there's still a lot of manufacturing that goes on in this world. So it's super like smoggy and gross. Right on. Okay. You guys land on the outskirts of the city, and as the Arvis Slider's ramp touches down, you immediately see basically Manufactorum streets in front of you, as they more or less, where you're set up is where the trucks drive down to the very lowest levels to burn all the raw minerals that are forged on this planet. And you guys in your Arvis Slider do have a very old I don't know if you guys can hear that. Sorry. There we go. Okay, we're good. You have a very old Torox transport. And this transport will get you basically to point A and point B, but it's nothing really fancy. And yep, there it is. And it does have a storm bolter on the top of it that someone can command if they absolutely need to.
Hopefully it won't come to that.
Hopefully not, but we'll have to see. So first off, you guys need to find the whereabouts of basically this informant. So you were told to go down to the 17th level of the hive, and somewhere on that street is a basically like a, for better, kind of like a lodge house for the workers that man the mines, and after they're done with their shifts, their long 16-hour grueling shifts, they will go get a quick drink before eating their gruel and then going to bed, basically, before their next day. So, who wants to drive the Torox for our first?
Dongo doesn't want to go in the Torox.
Yeah, that's true. You might have to sit on top.
An acceptable driver. It won't be high quality driving, as this is an Imperium transport. Disgusting.
Does the roof open?
But, the roof does. I don't know.
Doesn't like the darkness.
I think the roof does open.
Acceptable. So, are we setting this thing up now? What's happening now?
Yes. So let's go ahead and we get the dice tray all set up. So Nick's gonna have to make a driving test to make sure that the transport doesn't. Basically, we'll see how fast he gets there, more or less.
Cool. How would I go about rolling these dice? Left click.
So you're gonna grab them and then go ahead and let's add a percentile dice into the tray here. So we've got, because we have a bunch of 10s. So it's object. Let's go ahead.
Here we go.
Oh, very good. Yes. So go ahead. Let's go ahead and give it a go.
If you hit R a couple times, it will actually roll the dice up, like when you're playing 40K.
Oh, nice. Okay. Cool.
So my current driving skill is requires a 60. So this will fail with a degree of failure.
All right. Perfect. So
starting strong.
Starting strong. You guys rip off in your and so yes, so the top does open. So I'm imagining Dongo's probably half in, half out. I would assume, letting the air blow on his face, keeping his eyes to the big sky, even though you're about to go underground. I don't really know how that's going to fare for him, but we'll have to see. So, Nick, you're driving down, and as you're
just the Farseer driving the Torox, nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
Completely normal.
With the hatch open and a gigantic ogren poking out of the top exactly with his tongue out like a dog. Yes. So yeah. So no. So basically, as you guys are rolling down the streets, this hive kind of like layout is rather confusing for Altiok. So you guys are going to get a little turned around. And as you basically, so you drive for about
Altiok
for about 2 hours, and then you
Never
realize
been in a hive city before.
You've made it to level 17, but you have no clue where you are, and you don't know where the streets are. And basically, this is as close as you're going to get in the vehicle, it seems, unless you go find some directions from a passerby.
Sure. That actually sounds like a very fitting idea. I would like to drive up to the nearest passerby and ask them for directions. Clearly the logical decision.
Fair enough. So I'll give you a couple options. There is a guy that's selling what looks like broken light bulbs on the side of the corner. Very nice. And he was pretty rough looking. There's two dudes that are smoking low sticks outside of a restaurant. And then kind of like a little old lady that is attempting to bury some sort of animal in an alleyway.
You see, being an Eldar, I think all humans are disgusting. So these look no different than the normal humans. So I would love to drive up to the guy selling broken light bulbs.
All right, sounds good. 1 second. Good night. Okay, there you go. All right, so you roll up, I imagine, nice and slow, go at about 5 miles an hour. The window rolls down, and a Farseer's helmet pokes out, looking down at the lady selling her broken light bulbs. Roll the
window down, stick my head out. Hey, do you know where a dive bar is in this area?
She looks up at you, and she's like, "A dive bar? This is level 17. I think every building qualifies as that."
One specifically that is a lodging house. I'm using all the descriptive terms that I got from you.
Very good. She says, "There's a couple. Are you looking for a nicer one or one that's potentially maybe a little worse repute?"
Bad one, please.
Yeah, that one sounds right.
That one sounds right. She basically says she'll give you the directions. You are about 30 minutes away. You drove to the opposite side of level 17 due to a very simple left or right turn. Just didn't make sense. So you guys will drive that way, and as you pull up in front of this this very, very seedy lodging house dive bar, you'll notice that the top half, that's the lodging house, and then there is a dark staircase that leads down to the entrance of the bar. And how you know the bar is there is there is a sign, and it's called the Corpse Starch Hangout. So how would you guys like to go about finding this person?
That does not sound like a trustworthy establishment. I believe that follows the criteria.
Dongo, would you mind going first?
Okay.
Dongo
goes into the bar.
Stairway. All right, wonderful. So as Dongo approaches down the stairs, there's basically like metal shingle saloon doors, and as you push yourself into the bar, you notice there's maybe about like 6 people in this. Definitely a dive bar. There's a lot of really disgusting gasoline-like looking fluids on tap, and sure enough, just like its name that says Corpse Starch Hangout, there is 2 very large, thick tubes that seem to be filled with a gray paste, and it's $5 a cup. 5 credits a cup.
So what was the specific person we were looking for down here? What was his name?
So,
name of informant.
Yes, Tiburos 4.
Informant or planet?
Informant.
Potentially both.
I could see the confusion, but yes, no, it is an informant.
A lack of any form of social skills, I would like to announce at full volume to everyone in the room, is anyone here named Tiburos 4? Having no subtlety to it.
Realizing the room is too loud, Dongo will add in, quiet and listen to Space Elf.
Do you guys want to roll me some awareness checks to see if there's no one answers. Everyone just looks kind of shocked. Go to roll me an awareness check and let me know if either of you notice any of the.
Am I trying to roll above or below my awareness?
Below.
This is important. Okay.
Below for sure.
I actually don't know where my awareness is, and everybody's watching my screen, so you might need to tell me.
Oh, you're good. So you're going to roll off your perception.
Yes.
Off your perception.
So your perception is 36.
Oh, see, that's not as high as 41. I have failed.
Okay, so sounds
That's
good.
math.
And did you pass, Altiok?
Let me roll mine real quick.
There you go.
A 1. Incredible.
So with
many
a skill
degrees
of 65,
of success.
Yeah, it will be 6 degrees of success.
You were paying attention like nobody's business.
That's
I
right.
was.
So Dongo, I imagine, immediately just stalks over to the nearest person and stares directly into their face, about maybe 6 inches from their eyes. Exactly. And then as everyone else quickly shifts their gaze to Dongo scaring the living daylights out of a poor person, one person doesn't shift their gaze and continues to stare directly at Altiok. And it's a very spidery looking figure in a black robe, and he's got one little red light poking out from inside, but you can't make out any features.
Cool. I would like to walk up to him.
Dongo will follow closely behind.
Perfect. Prevent me from being shanked.
Literally bodyguard in the job description.
That's right.
And then I would like to ask him if he is the informant I'm looking for.
Excuse me, good sir.
Are you the informant I'm looking for?
With a reedy kind of bionic voice, the person puts a finger up to the dark cavity that is their hooded face, and it goes, "Shh." He says, "Do not be so loud, Xenos." He says, "Indeed, I am who you are searching for." He says, "Now prove to me that you are not one of the governor's men come here to take me away to the place of pain.
Dongo, not Xenos, you Xenos.
He is confused.
Incredible.
Yes, so is Dongo.
Would I have any form of like badge for the Rogue Trader or any like house sigil that I could potentially flash him to prove to him that I am an agent?
Yeah, you probably have, I don't know, maybe take a picture of his patents on your iPad. Or
Incredible. I would like
on your data slate.
pull up on my data slate a picture of the badge I might possess or sigil.
A little snaking mechadendrite eye comes out of the front of the hood and kind of like scans the data slate and then scans you. And then it says, computing, compliance. Yes, you appear to be what you say. And he says, have you come for the holocore?
Yes. Yes, we have come for that.
Mm-hmm. Dongo totally know what's happening.
He says, he looks up at Dongo a little fearful, and he says, what I'm going to say does not mean you should rip me in half.
Uh-huh.
He says, the holocore is inside of me.
Oh, Dongo has key.
You might want to calm him down, Altiok.
I'll calm him down. Don't worry, Dongo. We'll be able to get it without ripping him in half, unless he resists.
He says, basically, I will give you the location that you seek, as it's inside of my internal cogitators. But you must first get me out of this place and off this planet to the Rogue Trader ship.
Sure, we can go about doing that.
Wait. Why can't tear in half?
It sounds like he has access to the coordinates. So I say we change that deal slightly and we take him with us to get what we seek. And then
What if we don't get what we seek?
Then you can rip him in half.
All right.
Later, Dongo. Not now, later. The ripping can happen.
Ripping does exist in the foreseeable future, but not at this exact moment.
Dongo will clutch his his stop sign that he tore out of the ground as a weapon and disappointedly storm out of the room.
I assume you're going back up the stairs up to the transport.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that this gentleman has given us the information intended.
Yes.
I agree.
I would like to bring him with us in case he's given us incorrect information.
Which is, he's given you no information yet till you save his life.
I thought he's coming with us because we're saving him. No.
Yes.
No, he's certainly.
I'm not clear, saving him will go much worse if we don't bring him with us.
Correct.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
definitely. He's
Excellent.
coming with us.
Okay.
I would like to correct that deal. I don't want to send him away yet. I would like to get what we seek first with him, and then he can leave with us. And I would like to propose that potential deal.
You can try to persuade him.
Incredible, yes. I would love to try to persuade him. I'll say, hey, well, we can't trust you perfectly yet, and you will almost be more protected coming with us.
Dongo's going to flex behind him and attempt to offer support.
Oh, plus 10 to your roll.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm helping.
I will roll a 98. I don't think I am particularly...
that might be a 68. 60.
Oh, you're right. Yes. That is a 68. This is still not successful, but I think I'm going to use one of my fate points nice and early on in the session. I'm going to re-roll it.
Sounds good.
As I feel like this is an important roll because if something could go very wrong if he leaves and then he gave us the wrong coordinates.
I think that tearing him in half to get the coordinates is still a really solid plan.
I think honestly, I completely agree.
He called me a filthy Xenos.
That's true. That is unacceptable. So we'll do a reroll, and if this fails, I think we might go to idea 2.
Oh,
21, so we might not have to go to idea 2.
Very nice. Let's see. Is he convinced? That's the question. He is convinced. He basically says, All right, fine. As long as I get to live. And he opens up his robes, and there's like a little computer on the front of him, and he'll press a bunch of buttons, and a little tiny cassette tape looking thing will come out, and he says, "I present you the Holocore."
Amazing. Yeah.
This is a family show. Okay.
Okay. And he hands
We
it
have a
over to
holocore.
Alpiak.
Excellent.
Got it.
Who's going to carry the holocore? Are you going to trust Dongo with it?
I feel like Dungo is the perfect carrier of such an object.
Okay. Good. That's definitely a decision.
I feel like I think Dongo has one of those like drawstring backpacks that you
Yes.
get at any sort of like
Mhm.
any sort of like business event.
Dongo is actually pro fanny pack, is the thing about Dongo.
Okay, very nice. It's probably a pretty big fanny pack. It's more like a backpack that he's tied around his waist.
Yep.
So what this sounds like to me is that no one is taking that fanny pack, and so the safest place
Yes.
in this
Dongo-
party is the
Dongo will
holocore
take
being
it.
in this fanny pack.
Yep. Dongo will carry Shiny.
All right, perfect. So, as you guys, I imagine, are now leaving the bar with your new friend, Tiberos. As you guys start climbing up the stairs, I would like. Who's first? Who's going up first?
Certainly Dongo.
Certainly
I
Dongo.
have given you a party procession order here on the.
Oh, perfect. Oh, I see. Wonderful. All right. So, Dongo, go ahead and roll me another one of those perception checks
Oh, I'm good at these.
as you're cresting the top of the stairs.
No,
61.
not going to get it done.
All right. So out you will come to the top of the stairs, and when you come up, you'll immediately hear a racking of a gun slide, followed by the quick report of an automatic weapon.
Well, that
And
seems bad.
yeah, that's good. Oh, that's a pretty good roll. All right, perfect. So, Dongo, what is your toughness plus your armor? It's going to be in those little. Actually, I can look. What am I talking about? Let's check.
The ability to share the character screens while we're
5.
talking is
Oh yes,
a needed improvement.
I agree. This is incredible.
11 in total, Bailey.
Yeah, 11 in total. Wonderful. So he's probably not going to hurt you. But let me see. Okay. Perfect. So. Oh, definitely not. So, basically, you'll feel the pitter patter of rounds as they slam off your body armor. It would have been definitely a kill shot if you weren't wearing probably like a couple centimeter thick metal slab on the front of you. But immediately when you do that, you look around the street and you can see there's a whole bunch of figures that are like up on the rooftops, down in the corridors. And they all have their guns trained on you or moving into positions to fire at the front of the dive bar. Your Chimera is, of course, still in front of you, and there is 2 equally Dongo-sized individuals standing in front of the Chimera, and they're both holding big axes.
I'm sorry, they have a Chimera, we have a Torox.
Oh, sorry, a Torox. Yes, no, my bad. Not Chimera, a Torox.
Do they have something as well?
Not in your sight that you
Okay.
can see.
All right, so this is ours. We parked over here.
Yes.
Oh, but they're in between us and our vehicle?
Yes.
Okay, well then we parked over here. There you go. All right, and then I've got some people up here. Bailey, tell me where to put people. This is your.
Oh, absolutely. Let's put one guy up on the top floor there, kind of overlooking the bar. Yep, we got a guy there. Another dude up in the really tall building. Another dude below him, maybe. And then let's stick for now 3 more guys kind of around the crates. You got the 2 there. You got the 1 guy there. That's actually probably pretty good. That's 5 dudes right there. Yeah. There you go. Perfect. 6. That'll do. Yes, absolutely. Very good. So, go ahead and let's roll some initiative really quick. So everybody, roll me. I believe it's a D10 with your agility bonus added to it.
You believe?
It's
I
gonna
know.
be a 20 for me.
Oh my goodness. Dongo's gonna get shot a lot, I think.
Dongo takes his time.
That's right.
Dongo take Dongo time.
Too funny. Okay, and your Dongo's agility bonus is probably like a 3 or 4. Let's see.
Rock on.
Rock
That
on.
certainly
That's
sounds
right. Look at me, so correct. Okay, wonderful. So, 6 guys. All right, wonderful. So as you so Dongo, you're still standing at the top of the staircase with Altiok and your very wiry friend behind you. Your new friend. What's the plan for you, Altiok? Are you just gonna stay behind Dongo, or?
Yes, yeah, I would like to remain behind Dongo, knowing that using my ranged advantage is probably ideal over other options.
All right. Oh man. I'll roll a couple of the guys that had a little better initiative here. All right. So sure enough, all around the courtyard, machine auto guns open up in full auto as 4 of them do. One of the guys' auto guns explodes in his face.
Which one is that? Which guy is that?
The guy at the very top of the tower. And oh shoot, and he dies.
Ah!
I know. Boom. The gun explodes and the rounds just riddle his body, and off the top he goes. Meanwhile, much the rest of the shooting, the vast majority of it is basically just lighting up the wall around you, because auto guns don't have incredibly long range and everyone's still a little far away. But a couple of the guys get a couple shots on you, Dongo. Ooh. So let's see. Somewhere in full auto and had some good rolls. Okay, so a couple more rounds will glance off your shoulders, but one of them is actually going to puncture your left shoulder, and you're going to take 1 damage. You can mark that on your sheet, which will probably just enrage you. But you get shot. I mean, probably you get hit probably like 7 or 8 times, but that one does puncture a little bit, spouting a little bit of blood.
Puny guns.
What's your move, Dongo?
I would like to move to the closest person and hit them with my stop sign.
It's probably the big guys, or is it the? Yeah, probably the. Well, I don't know.
I should fight the big guys. I think.
Yeah, I think
that
so.
just makes sense. I presume this is well within my movement.
Absolutely. You make a charge. Excellent. So go ahead and roll me a weapon skill check as you're attacking them with your powered stop sign.
Mm-hmm, it's true.
And this just needs to be below that weapon skill.
No.
Ooh. Luckily, you have Furious Charge. So, well, there's a couple things you could do. So, Dongo could use a fate point, because I think you have 4, don't you? You have a lot of fate points. Dongo could use a fate point to re-roll that hit if he'd like. Or he can elect to remove his reaction with the Furious Charge talent and make another strike.
I will re-roll it.
All right, sounds good. Use a fate, because then you can maybe hit him twice.
Right.
Oh no! Okay. The first sweep's a little wide. Are you gonna burn that reaction? It looks like yes. He's swinging hard. There we go.
There we go.
It. Wonderful. And how many degrees of success is that? Because your base weapon skill is what, like a probably pretty high. 55, 56. Let's look at Dongo here. 52. Oh, you do pass, but by the skin of your teeth. Exactly 52. Wonderful. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and roll me the damage. So for your power caution sign, it's 1d10 plus 5.
All right. Big money, no whammy. 9.
A 9. Very nice. 14, pen 2.
So it's a 4 plus 5 for a 9, just to be clear.
Oh, I got you. 4 plus 5 for 9. Okay. Wonderful. So you'll swing your stop sign down. Your first sweep will go a little wide. Your second sweep will swing it down, and you slam it deep into the first Bulgren shoulder right in front of you. That's right. And it cuts deep, but he doesn't actually seem that phased by it.
Fair enough.
So that Bulgrin in turn is going to go ahead and it lifts up its kind of like big axe that it has, and it's basically going to swing it. You're a little close for swinging, so he's going to try to bop you with it right in the face as best you can to kind of force you to back up. Oop, that was a good roll. There we go. 63. He'll swing it up and he'll slam it into your head, but you're also pretty tough, so you just laugh. The other one is going to try to tackle you to the ground. So he's going to make a strength check, a 23. Okay, so now you need to make a strength check as well for the grapple.
Rude.
Oh, no. So indeed, he dives forward, and the two bulky masses of Bulgrin flesh slam together and crash onto the ground, kicking and punching and gouging. Altiok, what do you do as you see your friend go down?
Seeing this happen so quickly, I know that I should probably start taking out some of these enemies. So, do you see that pile of 2 dudes right there?
Yes, over by the wall.
Yeah, I'd like to cast an Eldritch Storm in between them.
One of them is dead. I'm fairly
one
certain.
of them is dead. I see. I'd like to target that pile of 3 a little bit further past. That seems like the correct thing to do.
Good Eldari strategy. Shoot at more people.
Exactly. Yes. Must kill as many as possible. So I will be making a focus power test. It will be my willpower plus 25 plus 10. So we'll go off on pretty much guaranteed unless I were to roll 100. Though I will perils on any roll of a 100 or doubles.
Okay.
I will roll
pretty freaking close,
which is quite scary. If I had not cast this at its base power, it would have been much more difficult, and therefore this would have most certainly failed. But it will pass, and then enemies may dodge as normal if they have the ability, and if not, they will be taking 3d10 plus 5 damage.
Show off.
We'll see if we make some dodges. 1 failure. 2 failure. 3 failure. They all fail to dodge the Eldritch Storm.
Incredible. Get a big chunk of damage early in the encounter with a grand total of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of 15 damage at pen 8.
So all 3 of the cultists are atomized by the fire of the Eldar psychic storm, and they're just it's like they all basically turn to they all turn to dust. What does Altiok do after unleashing this havoc?
He looks kind of disgusted that he had to use such difficult measures to kill some cultists. But he knows that it must be done to repay the debt to his friend.
This is true. All right, and wonderful.
Then,
So the cultist watches you unleash what does the Eldritch Storm look like? Out of curiosity.
Looks as a small little targeted strikes of lightning striking each person individually.
And do they just disintegrate usually,
yes,
or do they just
turn to ash?
It doesn't really sound like a storm, but okay.
It sounds like a lightning zap. Okay, so perfect. So the cultist right here by the wall, he's kind of freaked out when he looks behind him and sees his 3 friends just die. So he's going to slam home his canister into his flamer. And he's going to gout the front of the staircase where Altiok and the Mechanicus friend.
He's going to give us gout? That's really mean.
That's just not nice at all.
Straight out of the 17th century.
Yeah. No, it's still around and it's bad.
Oh,
so, in fact, there's a flamer being shot at us from somebody?
Yes.
Okay. Who's got the flamer? I'm confused.
The gentleman who is still standing next to the wall.
Oh, okay.
Next to his dead friend.
Fair enough.
All right, perfect. So he's going to go ahead and see what he can do. I don't think I've ever had an NPC fire a flamer before, so let's take a look. Maybe it does just ludicrous amounts of damage and I kill Altiok right now. Never know.
That would be very sad.
I'm just kidding.
I have a lot of other Farseer models. It'll be okay.
Altiok 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Okay, he will hit. Let's see. And Altiok, you have an armor of 10, correct?
I do have an armor of 10, but I would also like to dodge if given the possibility.
You should be able to. Yes.
I will roll a 32, which will pass with 3 degrees of success, 4 degrees of success on a dodge check.
How do degrees of success work? Let's tell the audience.
Yes. So, in any time you end up rolling a skill or a check, you have a number you need to hit. So, if my base agility is 60 and then I have a plus 10 to the dodge, then I need to roll a 70 or under. And then for every full 10 that I roll less than 70, I will have a degree of success.
Okay.
So in this specific instance, rolling, I think it was a 22. Because I need to meet the requirement of a 70, it's going to be 4 degrees of success, or 3 degrees of success. Actually, math is hard, but yes. And so in this game, that'll have lots of little impactful things. There'll be a lot of contested checks you'll be making with people, and anytime you're rolling a contested check, you're comparing degrees of success.
Okay.
Yes, which Dongo will probably be doing here in a second, as he is. They both are throttling each other on the ground.
Dongo, enjoy.
So, Altiok, what do you do to avoid the flamer as you see the igniter click on and the flames gout towards you?
I'd like to dash behind the side of the wall, obviously not actually moving, but for thematic purposes, to avoid the spray of the flamer and then return to my location.
Wonderful. Let's see how our tech friend does. Not as good. Not as good. That's too bad. So he tries to follow your quick, fleeting steps and actually exposes himself more to the fire, to the gout. Let's see what happens to him. Oh, it's not too bad. His cloak catches fire, and he screams as some of his wiring short circuits, and he kind of rolls around on the ground trying to put it out. As he tries to put it out, the gentleman on top of the building, on top of the bar itself, he's going to lean over the side and open up at Altiok as Altiok's running away from the flames.
Amazing.
Dodge this, he says. And he's a terrible shot, and he is such a bad shot. So the bullets pitter patter all around you as he fires over the top. But it's kind of like those videos you see all the time of dudes shooting over walls with the AKs. It's like that, and the bullets just go wide. All right, Dongo, you are on the ground, hands around or however you want. I mean, I imagine your hands are around the guy's throat who's throttling you, but I'm not sure. Maybe you're not. I'm not sure.
I believe that I should crush it. Dongo, crush his face with hands.
Oh, I like it. All right, very good. So we're going to need to make an opposing test, just like Nick said. It's going to be off of our strength. So roll below that.
Oh,
that's 72.
Dongo's so
oh my
strong.
Gosh. That's pretty good. Is that a 6?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that's 6 degrees of success. I don't actually think the Bullgrid can win, but we'll roll. Maybe he gets a 1. No. Okay. So yes, go ahead and roll me a 1d10 for damage plus your strength bonus, which will be a 7.
Seems like psychic energy is a lot better than crushing someone's head.
Yeah, sometimes.
9.
9's a 10. Okay,
Or
3
3 plus.
7. Yeah, it's a 10. Perfect. And then we'll add the degrees of success too, so 6, because that was pretty impressive. Yes, so Dongo, you're like and you start like crushing the sides of his head, and his eyes start bulging, and he's also screaming in your face. You're both just like screaming in each other's faces, and you feel a little crack, and he'll roll off to the side, all limp. You are victorious.
Ha ha!
And as you throw him off of you, the other guy is preparing his axe strike and will try to smack you in the chest as you stand up. There we go. All right, wonderful. Would you like, this is a new round of combat, so would you like to try to roll out of the way of this axe strike?
No.
No, he says. All right.
I think he's weak.
That makes sense. Got 11 all the way around. So the axe will slam into you, and it will do 3 damage to you, as it will actually cut into your plate pretty deep, but not so much that you're. I mean, Dongo's a pretty tough dude, so
Dongo has taken 4 damage. Dongo will be okay.
that's absolutely right. But you are knocked back onto your back as he slams the axe down upon you. So Altiok, back to you. You see your wiry friend now completely out of his robes. He's naked. He's rolling around on the ground, putting out his electrical fires. What's your next step? You've got a gentleman who's quickly loading out a reloading a flamer canister, and the guy on the roof. Well, you see the auto gun poking out over the top of the roof.
Yes. So I would like to cast a telekinetic crush on the fella that is on the roof. And it's going to have a range of 50 meters, if I would potentially be in range of that.
Oh, yeah, you're right next to him.
Amazing.
That seems really far.
Yes, that does seem very far.
I feel like you could, yeah, no kidding.
I would like to
that's much farther than we need it to be, but okay.
That's true. It is much farther than it needs
Isn't
to
that
be.
150 feet?
Yeah, roughly.
That's really far. Some dude off in the distance, you just pinch him and you freaking.
Yep. That's exactly what I want to do to this guy, but just real close. I'd like to crush his head with psychic energy.
All right, sounds good.
We've got a theme going on now.
Yeah. A 997, Nick. Is that a pass or is that a fail?
Funny enough, as this being a base spell with lots of positive modifiers, yes, this will in fact pass without a peril.
Okay, wonderful.
Nick min-maxed his character. It's
No,
now.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
So I'm going to do a total of 10 plus 7 damage. So it'll be 17 damage at pen 2.
Okay, pen 2. All right, so his head gets much skinnier, and he'll bite his tongue off, but he's still alive, actually. I know he kind of leans over the edge, and he's like, as you're like squeezing his head. And I do believe there's a second caveat to telekinetic crush, isn't there?
There is a second effect.
I need to pass a willpower check, I think, or
you do.
Toughness check,
or be grappled. Again, it's against my willpower. So this is 0 degrees of success. So,
true. He's got it. You tell me there's a chance?
There is a very solid chance.
0 degrees of success. It's going to be my biography name.
And is it a willpower or a toughness check? That's the big question.
It'll be a toughness check for him, but it was a willpower check for me. And actually, it looks like I roll a separate one, so I'll be rolling a new one for you here briefly.
Well, he obviously survives because he rolled a 69. But
giggity.
Oh no,
he's most certainly crushed.
So yeah, so as he leans over the top and he's screaming at you, you kind of just like smack his head, you bob it again, you dribble it against the concrete, and he falls off. Then he falls off, and you're like holding him onto the ground with your Palpatine like sorceress power.
Is that this guy?
Amazing.
Yes.
That's this guy?
Yes. He gets dragged off the building and held onto the ground as he screams with a skinny head, very, very skinny head. All right. Flamer Man throws his flamer on the ground as he struggled to reattach in the heat of battle his canister, and so he draws out a lineman's hatchet and he charges Altiok, taking a swing at you. Let me see here. Oh, he has successfully hit you.
Amazing.
Would you like to dodge, sir?
To attempt to dodge. Which I will
I think you do
many
succeed.
degrees of success. Yeah, 4 degrees.
I'm sorry. Did he run at you? Is that what he did?
Yes.
Okay.
He sprinted at him, and he swings his hatchet. And you're a Farseer, right? So you've already seen this happen.
It's already happened 20 times in my head.
So sure enough, he misses you as you are not there anymore. And we are back to Dongo. You're on the ground, and the guy's standing over you, heaving, holding his axe. What do you do?
I am going to. What's amusing? Is there some sort of get up action?
You actually have the leap up talent, which means you get to get up and it not cost you anything.
Well, see, this is information Dongo needed. All right, Dongo will spring up and smash with stop sign. Smash.
All right, sounds good. I'm picturing the Hulk, that iconic pose where he's got both the hands above his head from MCP. But he's got a stop sign.
Yes.
Oh.
What do we get? 76.
Yeah.
Will you give up your reaction to strike again?
Sure. There you go.
That
one hit
seems
him.
like a pass to me. Let's see. He does not have a reaction. So go ahead and let's see that damage.
Dose.
2 plus your strength, which is 7. So 9 at pen 2. All right, awesome. So you will swing, and basically what he just did to you, which was smash a gigantic axe into your chest, you'll do the exact same thing with your power stop sign.
Your turn to be on ground. Ha ha!
And yes, he does. You slam him into the thorax, which will rock, of course, under the weight of his body, and then he will fall onto the ground as well, angrily roaring. As this was happening, our little AdMech friend had run over to the thorax to try to get in, and he is also thrown to the ground as the thorax rocks. Again, unfortunate for the guy. All right, Altiak, you got a dude that just swung a hatchet at you. Very
amazing.
close.
Seeing this happen, I know that I need to step up my game a little bit. So I'm going to cast a spell that I have not cast yet, and I am going to cast Crystal Seer. How this spell works is I will make it's a full action, and I will make a focus power test. And if I pass it, I will be able to cast 2 other half-action spells as free actions.
Oh my goodness.
So it'll be 2 spells on a turn. And then if I pass one of those spells by 3 or more degrees, then I can cast a 3rd spell.
Incredible.
So I would like to cast that.
Dongo just hit things.
And I will pass, but it will not be with 2 or more, so it will just be 2 spells.
Oh, darn.
Ever so sadly, right? I would like to start. Are all of these guys pretty close to me at this point, right?
I think there's only 2 people alive.
Yeah, there's only 2 other guys. The one dude's got a very skinny head, and he was being held on the ground by your power. And then the other dude with the hatchet, he was basically right next to you, yeah.
Incredible.
Well,
so I would like to start with a telekinetic crush on the guy in front of me.
All right.
Which is going to go off
39.
on a 39 and not be at perils. Very nicely.
Incredible.
So it's going to be plus 10 damage at pen 2. And we'll roll this. And we'll roll a 1. So it'll be 11 damage at pen 2.
All right. This guy's head is also lengthened. Not as much as the other guy. And blood will run from his ears, and he's like, ah! And he has to make a check to not go down, correct?
He does. So
I
we'll
thought
roll
he
an
died.
opposed.
My bad.
Oh, he did actually survive.
So I'm going to roll a 6. So that'll be
Christmas.
6 degrees of success on that.
He can't even get 6 degrees of success. Poor guy. All right. So indeed, you again with your Palpatine-like powers drop him to his knees and then hold him down onto the ground as he's rolling around screaming.
So you're not going to believe this, Bailey, but with my next free spell, I'm going to try that again and see if I can kill him off for good this time.
On the same guy?
On the exact same guy.
Okay, sounds good.
I will roll 2
no.
to do so, which will yet again.
Bailey, can I have my permission to remove this model from the table, please?
Yeah, yes, he is jelly.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes, basically the dude becomes the consistency of a piece of paper, and he's smashed into the concrete. Wonderful. The dude who you were telekinetically crushing before you you crushed the other guy twice. The other guy, he stands up very woozily as his brain is definitely damaged. Oh, not that guy. That guy's still on the ground. This is the other guy. Oh, is that the tech?
Everybody's dead.
Oh, there was one other guy who fell off the building. And he wasn't 100% dead.
This guy right here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's almost dead.
Okay.
But not 100% dead.
He gets up.
Yeah, he gets up, and he'll rack the side of his auto gun, and with the one eye that isn't looking like a marshmallow, he will unload it on Altiok, hopefully at full auto. Just dump his mag.
Gross.
And he misses again, probably because his head and his brain are like severely
Very small
damaged
right now. Yeah.
yeah. But you'll fire. His bullets will trace your outline, but they won't hit you. And even if they potentially could have, you already saw it coming. All right, Dongo. Your opponent is still laying. He's kind of in a sitting position on the ground in front of you.
I would like to absolutely coup de grace. Let's end this idiot with some die rolling here.
So you'll
Coming
get
in from the top ropes.
you'll get a plus 30
Oh,
because he's laying on the ground.
Or should I pick up the other guy and throw him at him?
Oh, that'd be pretty cool. I don't think it'll do as much damage, but
Okay.
it would send a message for sure.
Yeah, we'll just roll. We'll roll some dice instead. Oh, watch out! It's a 10.
No. Oh no! Wonderful. 8. Very nice. So 8 plus 7. That's pretty good. AP2. So yeah, basically you're gonna swing down your stop sign and you're gonna cut about halfway through his neck because he's got a big like iron collar on, and you're just gonna chop that thing off and you're cut about halfway through his neck. He can't roar anymore because his vocal cords are cut, but he's with one hand, he's gonna hold his head in place. And he's going to rise up to his knees. And with his other hand, he's going to basically try to just punch your knee out.
I don't get to attack my second time?
Oh, no, never mind. You too. You have Furious Charge. Silly me. You should you should hit the same place again, I think. So
Okay.
this is where you're going to say you aim, which you just said.
Okay. Yep.
Wonderful. So
Mhm.
you'll be actually hitting on a 10 better, basically.
Okay.
But so you'll hit. I'm going to roll me that damage again.
7.
Very nice. And so, yes, as he's getting to his knees and he puts his hand on his head, the power sign passes all the way through the neck. And he kind of looks confused for a second.
Ho ho!
And then his head falls off his shoulders and he slumps to the ground. And just at that moment, our tech priest friend will pull out a las pistol, run up to the dude who shot at Nick, and will shine a flashlight in his eyes, if you know what I mean. And he will die. Potentially, actually, I should roll this. Maybe he won't die. What is this? A 3. He'll still die. He was pretty much dead. Okay, wonderful. All right, so all the opponents are slain around you. You don't seem to see any other attackers, so I think it makes sense to get out of dodge.
yeah, no, that makes sense.
So I think dodge should be scared of you guys, and maybe it should get out of itself.
Dongo would like to know if there's any value in checking their bodies. No,
Definitely,
Okay.
the other Bulgrin probably have some keepsakes that a
All right,
fellow Bulgrin.
Dongo will loot the Bulgrin and then get in the car
Okay, perfect.
with the top open because it's the
Of course.
style.
Of course. So one of the Bulgrin had a very cool earring that had a little it's got a little sanguineous on it. Pretty awesome. So you'll snake that. And then just for clout. And then the other Bulgrin, he had what looks like a Space Marines power armor vambrace. Definitely worth taking, I think.
Okay.
That will make your right arm one more tougher in the armor category.
Okay. Good job, Nate.
That's right.
All right, here's our Farseer driving.
Amazing.
Yes. Did you pass your driving check, Nick? Are you able to get out of the underhive?
We will see if we spend another little adventure asking old ladies burying small animals for directions.
Not the small animals.
No, it's a light
Oh,
bulb,
watch
so-
out.
Oh, look,
I
he knows
will
where he's
aim.
going.
I know what's happening this time.
He paid attention on the way in. What a
That's
show
right.
off.
Much like elephants, a farseer never forgets. And so you will ride out at like the fastest speed that your Torox will go. It's a good thing that the top's down for Dongo, because the smell of burnt electronics is horrible inside of the Torox from your friend. But you'll make it to your glider, your Arvis lighter, and you'll hop inside and take off from the planet. The whole mission only took about 4 hours, so you're definitely within that 12-hour time. And as you get to the ship, as you land, you happen to see a very fancy mustachioed guy in an overcoat with a kind of like a Cossacks hat on the top. And he looks very stressed as you guys land and the ramp drops.
I think we probably need to stop here for today.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. Well, everybody, that was a great deal of fun. Thank you so much, Bailey, for taking the lead on that, and of course, Nick, for doing all of the leadership as I grunted at people. This was absolutely a tech test, so this is up on YouTube for people to watch. We're going to add some stuff for next week. I think a green screen or at least some back covering would be good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have more time to source the stuff. So there's some different stuff that's going to happen. We certainly want your feedback. That's 100% a thing that we want. So let us know. And next week, we'll talk about how you can come join the Discord and talk to us and things like that. So we'll be back next Monday at 7 o'clock Pacific. This week still on Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. we've got Competitive Advantage with Noah and Colin talking about learnings from MCP and Kill Team that made me a better 40K player. That'll be a fun one. And then on Thursday, it's the premiere of Better Human, Better Gamers reboot, where I'll be talking about being called and actually cheating, accidentally, but nonetheless cheating. And joining me on that episode will be JT McDowell, Danny McDevitt, and it seems like maybe Adam Camilleri. So that'll be a pretty baller first cast on Thursday at 7 o'clock. And then this will be back next Monday. Thank you, everybody. This was really fun. So, we hope you'll enjoy it. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Good night.